Hello everyone, welcome back to Phoenix. I'm Phoenix and today we're going to be playing Cityscapes. So Cityscapes is basically just a city builder game. It's not that big of a deal. I found it relatively fun, but overall it wasn't the most fun I've ever had. So with that, let's get into it. Alright, so I started this journey on my phone. And I'm going to start off by saying I do not recommend that because it was really, really hard to see. The phone was just way too small for this type of game, and honestly, it was not a great experience. The controls were perfectly fine. There was no issue with the controls, and it was a pleasant experience other than the fact that it was way too small. Okay, moving on to my iPad, which I believe is next in my little journey through this game. It was much better because it was bigger and I could see what was going on. And that was like half the fun because look, if you can't see what you're doing, then what's the point of playing the game, right? Like you need to be able to see what you're doing. And I could. So the iPad was better. Like it was good. The touch controls were fine. They made sense. And that's really all I have to say. I mean, it's just a city builder. Like what do you expect? So moving on to my Mac. Again, this wasn't a bad experience at all. It was pretty simple and honestly probably the second best because it's also a big screen. But I liked the iPad more because for some reason the touch just works better. I mean, I do appreciate touchscreen, so that could be part of it. So yeah, overall it was a good game. So in terms of saves, the saves were really easy. Like it's a short section. I had no issue with the saves at all. They transferred over just fine. As for the gameplay, it was alright. It was alright. I found it to be quite repetitive, but it was not a bad repetitive. It's just not the type of game I typically like to play. So there is that. My cat's playing with his tail. Okay, so overall the game was... Where was I? It was repetitive, but it built off of itself. One of my biggest problems with this game is honestly the ease of controls. So although the controls transferred over from iPhone to iPad to Mac all similarly and all equally usable, sometimes I found like building the roads was not intuitive, and I also found the placing of things not to be exact intuitive, and finding the things that I needed to build also not intuitive. I ended up wandering around in the menus quite a bit, as you may or may not see, we'll see, just to find what I need, and it wasn't exactly clear where I was supposed to find things. So that's probably one of my biggest criticisms for the game. That may be difficult if you like this kind of game. I don't, and that actually made me realize that I didn't want to buy a certain game. I think it was like City Skylines that I didn't want to buy because I was like, this is looks kind of similar to it, so I don't want to buy it. And you have to maintain people's happiness with your city. You have to maintain facilities and make sure that there are enough jobs and enough shopping and enough all of that good stuff for your city. So it could be a very fun game in terms of that sense, but I don't like that kind of game. I'm more of a RPG girl, so I personally did not find this as fun, and it felt very structured in a way that didn't appeal to me. I do like structure, I do like quests, I do like having to do things, but I did not like being told every single step that I needed to do. I don't know how to explain why I didn't like it, but ultimately, I did not like this game. And part of it reminded me of like being in The Sims for some reason, even though in The Sims you don't build roads, like the roads are there for you, unless you're doing like building your own world, which I don't think I've ever done, so I don't know why it reminded me of that. But with that, I really have nothing else to say about this game. Oh my goodness. So, with that, goodbye.
Yeah, hey. Cause I can't right, I can't learn my lesson. I can't right, take any depressants. Illness and welfare robbed my adolescence. My friends.
Congratulations on making it this far in the video. Woo, you get confetti. Anyways, I just wanted to show you this. I made it for class and I really enjoy it. And maybe you will too. I guess it's really goodbye. Goodbye.